even to 50,000 by the end of the year.
The same way that I said in 2013, put 1% of your net worth into Bitcoin, I will put myself out there today. I think this thing is $100,000 a coin, probably in the next 3 to 4 years. And I think it is, in the next 20 years, $1 million a coin. That's what I'm saying.
39,000. Where's it going?
I mean, can you play the clip in 2012 and 13 when it was at 200 and everybody was laughing at me on CNBC every time I would talk about Bitcoin? Where is it going? It's probably going to 100, then 150, then 200,000. In what period? I don't know. 5 years, 10 years, but it's going there. And the reason is because every time you see all of this stuff happening, it just reminds you that, wow, our leaders are not as trustworthy and reliable as they used to be. And so just in case, we really do need to have some kind of, insurance we can keep under our pillow that gives us some access to an uncorrelated hedge. And it's going to eventually transition to something much more important. But for right now, you're just getting all these data points that prove this thing. It's just the fabric of society is frayed. And until we figure out how to make it better, it's time to just have a little schmuck insurance on the side. And everybody's running in. It's just an incredible thing. I could never have imagined it.
Good to be a schmuck, I guess, if you got in early and it goes to where you think it's going to go.
Your forecast, do you wish you put out a higher number at this point? How much Bitcoin's risen in such a short amount of time?
Yeah. That number, it actually came from David Grider, who's our digital asset strategist. But I think in rounder numbers, 2021 is going to be a lot like 2017, which means Bitcoin should do even better in 2021 than it did in 2020. So something above 300%.
More than 300% return on Bitcoin. Correct. Is what you're forecasting.
More globally, and the view, I think, that other rivals of yours and others in the financial community are going to be coming in at some point behind you. We'll see whether they do. But let me just ask you just straight up about the value proposition of Bitcoin, because a lot of people say, what is its true value? What is the inherent value of Bitcoin? How do you value it? I know you own some yourself. How do you value it?
Yeah. Well, I think all forms of money are based on trust and set values that come from that trust. I think if you take a step back, Andrew, especially with the pandemic, you've seen the use of cash decline precipitously. Something like 40 to 70% of consumers no longer want to handle cash. And just like every industry is digitizing right now, that is also happening in the financial services world. There is no question that people are flocking to digital payments and digital forms of currency. And one of the things that we looked at, and we talked to regulators around the world, central banks around the world, and it became clear to me that it's a matter of, not if, but when and how you'll start to see more and more central banks issue forms of digital currencies. And I think you'll have more and more utility happen with cryptocurrencies. One of the things that we allowed is not just making it easy to buy, sell, and hold cryptocurrencies, but very importantly, early next year, we're going to allow cryptocurrencies to be a funding source for any transaction happening on all 28 million of our merchants. And that will significantly bolster the utility of cryptocurrencies.